Seniors often need to consider factors that younger travelers typically don't need to consider. Differences in mobility, health, and comfort needs. Here are some key considerations that have come up with my traveling and things that I really need to consider. I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm not as in shape as I used to be. And I also got to look at medications. Us seniors need to bring prescriptions, keep medications at correct temperatures, keep them in their original prescription bottles when we travel, and ensure access to refills abroad. So in today's times, and they are changing, I like to also keep an extra week with me, but not an extra 90 days. So if you know you're going over for 2 weeks, consider taking 3 weeks, and then what would happen if your trip was extended, whether you want to or not, and how would you access the more medications. These are thoughts we need to have. Also, look at medical records and insurance. Travel insurance with health coverage, including pre-existing conditions, is essential. Essential. We don't want to wreck our entire journey for everyone we're with because we sprain an ankle, or God forbid, I have a medical condition when I'm traveling, and more needs to happen. So, doctor's clearance, especially for long flights and high altitude destinations. Have we had a surgery? Have we had a medical condition? Is something going on, even as simple as the inner ear or something, where we need to maybe ask our doctor if it's okay to fly, to dive, to go altitude, different things that we might do on a vacation. Also, my friends, mobility and physical comfort. This is absolutely key. We can't have fun unless our body is having fun. We can't have fun unless we feel good. So, what is our walking distance and the type of terrain that we're comfortable walking on? Uneven paths, cobblestones, or long walking tours can be difficult. Maybe not for you, I hope not. But sometimes for me, yes. So I need to keep that in mind. Am I on the slow walkers group? Is there a slow walkers group? Can I take my time at navigating that, or is it going to be a fast speed? So maybe I want to do something else. And then we want to look at assistance devices. Would it be nice to have a cane, a walker, portable seats? How do I transport them? These are things we need to consider. Also, accessible transportation. Is there going to be an elevator in the hotel I'm going to? Are there going to be ramps? Is it accessible for vehicles? Different things like this is very crucial. So how long am I going to need to go upstairs? Is it 1 floor? Is it 4 floors? Do I have to carry luggage? Somebody else takes my luggage? Am I constantly going up and down to go to a simple restroom? Lots of different considerations with mobility. So we also want to look at fatigue and pace. Seniors need more rest. So itineraries should include downtime and limit back-to-back activities. So if there's 3 activities in one day, I may opt for 1 or 2, because usually if I'm on a cruise, there's entertainment there. And if I'm in a hotel, you know what? People watching around the corner is not so bad, my friends. There's usually a cathedral or something else, so you may not need to take advantage of that second or that third tour of the day. Pace yourself, know what kind of tour, know what kind of options. And then we're looking at climate and sensitivity. Us older adults may be more affected by heat, by cold, by humidity, or altitude. So destination climates matter more. I went to Yellowstone in February. And yes, my friends, if you know about the national parks, if you know about Yellowstone in February, you know nobody's driving into that park. You're taking snowmobiles, you're taking those big tires or those big tractors, and you're wrapped up in a snow bubble suit. So you're having a great time. Is maybe that also a hindrance, or are you willing to do that? Know what you're willing to do, know what you're actually doing. Maybe try on the suits ahead of time and walk around the house with them. See what it takes to put them on, to take them off. Just pace yourself, know what your options are. So also, We talked about climate matters more. So it's not just in the cold. What about the humidity? The heat can be a true burden. Even if I'm at the beach, my friends, I've got to hydrate. Am I planning on being somewhere or taking enough liquids, or even thinking about taking enough liquids so that I don't get hot and fatigued easily? Emergency planning, backup plans, my friends. I can't tell you or stress this enough. Backup plans in case of health issues, including knowledge of nearby hospitals and embassies. Wherever you're traveling to, my husband always says, I don't need to take everything because there's always a store. Well, my friends, it's nice to check that out ahead of time, because if you're traveling across country here in the United States, you know sometimes you're going 2 hours without a store. Do you have enough water? Do you have enough snacks on board? But again, right here, we're talking about international and knowing where the embassies are. That's always good information. It's sometimes fun to just pop in and see what it's like, see what it is, where it is. But it's also good that if your passport is stolen, we're going to talk about that later. So hit that subscribe button, because I've got a lot more of these tutorials that I need to tell you about. But you always want to take a picture of certain pages of your passport and have that either in a secure place in your safe when you travel, somewhere separate from the passport. So if the passport gets stolen or lost, you have a picture of it inside of your phone, and that's going to help that embassy help you recover that passport faster as well. Get a new passport to travel home with. And so let's go ahead and keep going with travel insurance and evacuation coverage. Wow, Wendy, why would I ever need to be evacuated? I'm not planning on tidal waves or hurricanes hitting me. Well, my friends, what happens if you break a leg and you're in a country, or you have heart attack and you're in a country that maybe doesn't have the best medical situation there for you? You might want to go ahead and be flown home after you're stabilized, so you're not recouping for 3 weeks in that hospital in a foreign country. So again, travel insurance and evacuation coverage, more likely to need coverage that includes emergency airlift or repatriation. Security and scams. I cannot share this enough with everybody. Please, 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 please. If you get it in the mail, it may not be real. If you get it in the internet, it may not be real. If you get it on one of our social medias, it may not be real. So security and scams in person, as well as when we're traveling, we might get that weird text that tells us, something's happening in that country and we've got to respond by such and such. Well, no. Seniors are sometimes targeted for scams. Increased vigilance and travel with trusted companions is advised. My friends, what happens if I'm all alone, or my partner that I'm traveling with gets this text, sees this text, and doesn't know what to do? Well, I love the hotel front desk. I love the concierge in the hotel. They are two people that I can always go to, or I can send my senior friends to. If they don't know how to hook up the internet, if they see something funny, they can always go and say, I need your help. I got this on my phone. Have you ever seen it before? Does that mean anything to you? That's a good starting place. So again, know your backups. Maybe have somebody back at home you can call up or you can talk to, but don't open things that may have a virus or anything else on your computer gadgets. So again, just be know who you're going to travel with, know who to talk to, and again, the hotel staff, your tour director, your tour guide is a great idea for that. And vaccinations and immune considerations. Well, seniors may be more vulnerable to illnesses. Why is it that when we're young, we don't need a pneumonia shot, but when we're older, they recommend it. Why is it that some doctors recommend flu shots to some individuals over other individuals? Well, my friends, seniors may be more vulnerable to different illnesses. So staying current on vaccines like flu, pneumonia, shingles, COVID-19 is important. Some countries don't want you in their country if you don't have up-to-date shots. So if I were to say, I am not going to get that shot, that is okay, my friends. Please don't travel. If you're going to travel, have the shots they recommend, because you don't want to put out $10,000 for a vacation and have that vacation ruined by getting sick, having to see a doctor in a foreign country, go to a pharmacy in a foreign country. By the way, both of those I've done. It's very easy in the countries, fortunately, that I've needed to do so. So don't hesitate. If you do need to go to a doctor in a foreign country, yes, please do. But I want you to know, get your vaccines. Just do it so you can go enjoy the world. Okay, tech, confidence, and navigation. Yes, my friends, there are some countries that I travel to that I do not have internet reception, or the reception is very spotty. Even right here in the United States, you go up on different mountains. Or was the mountain I went up in Washington State? No internet at all. So you're going to go across vast distances with bad internet, or different places on the river where it's low internet. If you are traveling alone without a tour guide, please just go ahead and download some of those Google Maps or other maps so you know where you're generally at, where you're going. If you're with a tour, ask for that information from them. If you're on a cruise, they're going to provide it. Just be sure that you have confidence in using the travel apps, translation tools. There's a lot of translation tools out there on your phone right now, and digital boarding passes. So a lot of things are going to the internet. Just be comfortable that those airline tickets are on my phone. Those boarding passes are on my phone. But if there's no internet, can I get to them? Take a picture of them on your phone. Have them both ways. So you can pull up that app, but if you don't have internet, you've got a copy of it right there electronically as well. You do not have to print everything. So my friends, I hope that this has been a little bit of tidbits that helps you, that lets you know that yes, we can travel as long as we live. We can have a blast. We can go anywhere. We can do anything. But we may have to pace ourselves a little bit more and have a couple of more considerations going into that. I hope this has helped. Y'all have a wonderful day. Happy travels. Hit that subscribe button. I want you with me.